In the summer of 1998, a nation of just 22 million people stood proudly on the world stage. Malaysia, a country that had never before hosted a major international multi-sport event, welcomed 5,250 athletes from 70 countries for the 16th Commonwealth Games. This monumental undertaking, involving massive infrastructure projects and intricate organization, was a triumph. Behind the scenes, a focused 5-year initiative called Jaya 98 was preparing Malaysian athletes to shine. This is the story of how Malaysia orchestrated the grand spectacle of the 1998 Commonwealth Games, powered by the ambition of Vision 2020, and how the dedicated Jaya 98 program transformed the nation's athletes into medal contenders, creating a legacy that continues to inspire Malaysians today. Welcome to Julang Explained. To understand the significance of Jaya 98, we need to travel back to the early 1990s. The country was experiencing rapid economic growth under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. With an average GDP growth of 8 to 9% annually, Malaysia was one of the Asian tigers. Economies experiencing industrial transformation and rapid development. In 1991, Dr. Mahathir had unveiled Vision 2020, an ambitious plan to transform Malaysia into a fully developed nation by the year 2020. This wasn't just about economic metrics. It encompassed social cohesion, national unity, and international recognition. Malaysia was eager to announce itself on the world stage as more than just an emerging economy. The country's sporting landscape, however, didn't match its economic ambitions. While Malaysia had some success in regional competitions like the Southeast Asian Games, it struggled to make a significant impact on the global sporting stage. The country had a proud tradition in badminton, with the Thomas Cup victories in the 1950s and 60s, but broader sporting excellence remained elusive. It wasn't until 1992 that the Sidek brothers helped Malaysia win its elusive 5th Thomas Cup on home soil. Malaysian sports officials recognized this gap. They understood that sports could serve as both a unifying force for the nation's multi-ethnic society and a vehicle for international prestige. The National Sports Policy, formulated in 1988, had established two key rationales: developing high-performance sports and promoting mass participation to achieve national unity and stability. But something more focused was needed, a catalyst that would accelerate Malaysia's sporting development and showcase the country to the world. The successful hosting of the 1989 SEA Games in Kuala Lumpur had given sports administrators confidence that Malaysia could aim higher. It was against this backdrop that a bold idea began to take shape. What if Malaysia bid to host the Commonwealth Games? What if the country used this opportunity not just to organize an event, but to fundamentally transform its sporting culture and infrastructure? This was the genesis of what would become Jaya 98. Launched in 1993, Jaya 98, meaning Success or Victory 98, was the specific program designed to elevate Malaysian athletic performance for the Commonwealth Games. Spearheaded by MSN under its Director General, the late Datuk Wira Mazlan Ahmad, Jaya 98 focused squarely on athlete preparation. Its mission was clear: identify potential medal winners, provide them with world-class training and support, and ensure Malaysia fielded its most competitive team ever. This was about building Malaysian champions. What made Jaya 98 unique was its structured, well-funded, and autonomous approach to athlete development. As former high jump champion Lu Kamzi recalled, it was a very structured training program with a precise target. Athletes knew exactly what was expected, and MSN had the resources and authority to deliver the necessary support free from excessive interference. Jaya 98 represented a paradigm shift in Malaysian sports, a dedicated professional effort to nurture elite talent operating as a crucial component within the larger framework of the SUKOM 98 hosting project. Parallel to the conception of Jaya 98, Malaysia embarked on an ambitious journey to secure hosting rights for the 1998 Commonwealth Games. The Olympic Council of Malaysia, OCM, buoyed by the success of the 1989 SEA Games, led the charge. In January 1990, OCM Secretary Seah Kop Chee attended the Commonwealth Games Federation General Assembly in Auckland, New Zealand, where he learned about the bidding requirements. Upon returning to Malaysia, he briefed OCM President Tan Sri Hamzah Abu Sama, and after securing government approval, Malaysia officially submitted its bid. What set Malaysia's bid apart was several innovative proposals. First was the inclusion of team sports like cricket, hockey, netball, and rugby sevens, sports in which many Commonwealth nations excelled at but had never been a part of the Games. Malaysia also proposed including squash, another popular Commonwealth sport. These additions would later become a permanent fixture in the Commonwealth Games program, representing Malaysia's lasting contribution to the event. The bidding committee, including the late Tan Sri Alex Lee, travelled extensively to promote Malaysia's candidacy. He won over many countries with his friendliness and sincerity. Additionally, Malaysia offered 1,000 sponsored air tickets to be shared among athletes and officials from the 69 Commonwealth countries, supplementing the CGF's existing air ticket subsidy system. Another masterstroke was inviting representatives from each Commonwealth nation to the official opening of Wisma OCM in December of 1991. These fully sponsored visits allowed delegates to see Kuala Lumpur's facilities firsthand, convincing them that Malaysia was capable of hosting the Games. Finally, against considerable odds, Malaysia won the bid in Barcelona, becoming the first Asian nation selected to host the Commonwealth Games. It was a momentous achievement that set the stage for the transformative years to come. This victory triggered the formation of the official organizing committee, SUKOM 98, tasked with the monumental job of preparing the country for the event. Hosting the Games required a massive infrastructure overhaul, a core responsibility of the SUKOM 98 Organising Committee and the Malaysian government. Over 1 billion ringgit was invested, transforming the Kuala Lumpur landscape. The centerpiece of this development was the National Sports Complex in Bukit Jalil, Kuala Lumpur. The complex featured a new national stadium with a capacity of 100,000 spectators, built at a cost of 900 million ringgit. This architectural marvel would become the pride of Malaysian sports and the iconic venue for the Games' opening and closing ceremonies. The complex also included the Putra Indoor Stadium, the National Aquatic Centre, and the National Hockey Stadium. Beyond the main stadium, approximately 35 to 40 million ringgit was allocated to improve existing sports facilities throughout the country. Another 40 million ringgit went towards developing the National Doping Centre, which became the largest such facility in Asia and was accredited by the International Olympic Committee. The government also invested 65 million ringgit in a non-sporting family park within the National Sports Complex, creating a recreational space for the public. These developments weren't just for the Games. They were designed as lasting investments in Malaysia's sporting future. The facilities would continue to serve Malaysian athletes and the public long after the Commonwealth Games concluded, providing world-class training venues and hosting capabilities for future events. The infrastructure push extended beyond sporting facilities. The period leading up to the Games coincided with other major development projects, including the new Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, and improvements to the city's transportation network. These projects complemented the sporting facilities, enhancing Malaysia's overall capacity to welcome international visitors. This massive investment reflected Malaysia's commitment to not just hosting the Games, but doing so at a world-class level. It was a bold statement from a developing nation that Malaysia could build and deliver facilities on par with those in more established sporting nations. While the physical infrastructure took shape under SUKOM 98, the Jaya 98 program focused intensely on the human element, the athletes. MSN implemented its structured training regime with dedicated funding. This autonomy allowed sports administrators and coaches to focus solely on athletic performance without political considerations. MSN brought in international experts to work with Malaysian athletes, providing world-class coaching and technical expertise. Training camps, both domestic and international, exposed Malaysian athletes to different training techniques and competition styles. The program's focus was clear: to maximize Malaysia's medal chances at the 1998 Commonwealth Games. Athletes received unprecedented support, from nutrition and sports science to psychological preparation and competition exposure. Many athletes reached the peak of their careers during this period, breaking national records and achieving international recognition. The National Sports Council and the Ministry of Youth and Sports worked in tandem with the Malaysian Olympic Council and various sports bodies to ensure a coordinated approach. This collaboration eliminated the bureaucratic hurdles that had previously hampered Malaysian sports development. This comprehensive support system allowed athletes like Hidayat Hamidun to reach their peak. Jaya 98 created a generation of Malaysian athletes who were better prepared and more confident than ever before, ready to make their mark at KL 98. From the 11th to the 21st of September 1998, Malaysia welcomed the world to the 16th Commonwealth Games, locally dubbed SUKOM 98. The event marks several historic firsts. The first Commonwealth Games held in Asia, the first to include team sports like cricket, hockey, netball and rugby sevens, and the first not to be declared open by the Queen or a member of the royal family, but Malaysia's 10th Yang di-Pertuan Agong Tuanku Jaafar Tuanku Abdul Rahman.
Dibuka dengan rasminya.
The Games featured a record-breaking number of participants, with 5,250 athletes and officials from 70 countries converging on Kuala Lumpur. The opening ceremony at the newly built National Stadium was a spectacular showcase of Malaysian culture, creativity, and organizational prowess. It announced to the world that Malaysia had arrived as a capable host of major international sporting events. Over the next 10 days, competitions unfolded across various venues, with team sports proving to be a popular addition to the program. The inclusion of these sports had been Malaysia's major contribution to the Commonwealth Games, forever changing the event's format. Team Malaysia achieved its best ever Commonwealth Games result, exceeding expectations and finishing 4th overall with 10 gold, 14 silver and 12 bronze medals. Malaysia beat out other powerhouses such as South Africa and India. This incredible performance on home soil was the ultimate validation of the 5 years of focused preparation under Jaya 98. It demonstrated that Malaysia could not only host a major event, but also compete successfully at it. One of the most iconic achievements to emerge from the Jaya 98 program was the rise of Malaysia's rhythmic gymnastics team, affectionately known as the Golden Girls. At the 1998 Commonwealth Games, Caroline Aoyong, El Regina Tajuddin, Sarina Sundara Raja, and Tai Chi Kiat delivered a landmark performance, capturing gold in the rhythmic team all-round event. Their victory turned them into national icons overnight and set a new standard for rhythmic gymnastics in Malaysia. The Golden Girls not only elevated the profile of the sport, but also inspired a new generation of gymnasts, demonstrating how structured support and targeted investment can unlock the true potential of Malaysian athletes. Their Commonwealth triumph remains a lasting symbol of what is possible when talent is nurtured through visionary programs like Jaya 98. The success wasn't limited to the medal tally. The Games ran smoothly, with international visitors impressed by Malaysia's hospitality, organization, and facilities. The feared haze that had affected the region a year earlier during the CGF General Assembly was thankfully absent, allowing the Games to proceed under clear skies. By any measure, the 1998 Commonwealth Games were a triumph for Malaysia, not just as a sporting event, but as a demonstration of the nation's capabilities on the world stage. It was a perfect validation of the Jaya 98 program and all the work that had gone into preparing for this moment. The success of Jaya 98 and the 1998 Commonwealth Games left a profound and lasting impact on Malaysia that extended far beyond sports. The program's legacy can be measured across multiple dimensions: infrastructure, sporting, economic, and social. The most visible legacy was the infrastructure. The National Sports Complex in Bukit Jalil, with its impressive stadium and sporting facilities, became a permanent fixture in Malaysia's sporting landscape. These world-class venues continue to serve Malaysian athletes and host international events long after the Games concluded. The National Doping Centre established Malaysia as a leader in sports science and anti-doping efforts in the region. Economically, the Games generated significant benefits. The 1 billion ringgit investment yielded returns through tourism, international exposure, and the creation of jobs, both during construction and the Games themselves. The event showcased Malaysia to the world, boosting its profile as a destination for both tourism and investment. Perhaps most importantly, Jaya 98 transformed Malaysia's sporting culture. It demonstrated what could be achieved with proper planning, funding, and commitment. The program raised standards across all levels of Malaysian sports, from administration and coaching to athlete performance and facility management. It created a blueprint for sporting excellence that future initiatives would seek to emulate. The social impact was equally significant. The Games fostered a sense of national pride and unity, bringing together Malaysia's diverse population in celebration of the country's achievements. For a multi-ethnic society still working toward full integration, this shared experience was invaluable. Sports became a more prominent part of Malaysian identity, with increased participation and interest at all levels. Internationally, Malaysia gained recognition as a capable host of major sporting events. This reputation would later help the country secure other international competitions, including the Formula One Malaysian Grand Prix, which further enhanced its global sporting profile. What can Malaysia learn today from the success of KL98? The power of vision, long-term planning, significant investment, both infrastructure and athletes, professional management, and institutional autonomy are key takeaways. Jaya 98 in particular highlights the critical need for focused, sustained programs for athlete development, shielded from interference and driven by expertise. The first lesson is the power of focused, long-term planning. KL98 wasn't a last-minute scramble. It was a 5-year roadmap with clear objectives, adequate funding, and professional management. The second lesson is the importance of institutional autonomy. The National Sports Council was given the authority to run the program without political interference. This allowed for decisions based on sporting merit rather than other considerations. Third is the value of comprehensive support. Jaya 98 didn't just focus on elite athletes. It developed the entire sporting ecosystem, from facilities and coaching to sports science and administration. This holistic approach created sustainable improvements rather than temporary gains. Perhaps most importantly, Jaya 98 demonstrated the unifying power of sports. In a diverse nation like Malaysia, sporting success became a shared source of pride that transcended ethnic and cultural differences. It showed how sports could contribute to the broader project of nation building. For Malaysians who lived through that era, the memories remain vivid. The excitement building up to the Games, the collective gasp as the cauldron was lit during the opening ceremony, the roar of 100,000 voices in the National Stadium, the pride of seeing Malaysian athletes compete against the world's best, and sometimes even win. We'd think back to those iconic moments: the Malaysian flag raised high during medal ceremonies, the volunteers in their distinctive uniforms, the mascot, Wira, bouncing through crowds of delighted children, the specially designed commemorative stamps and coins that many Malaysians still treasure today. Then, of course, there's the theme song, Standing in the Eyes of the World, performed by Malaysian singer Ella, which became an unofficial national anthem during the Games. Its lyrics, "Engkau terunggul, wajah standing in the eyes of the world," captured the spirit of a nation stepping confidently onto the global stage. For those too young to remember, it's hard to convey the atmosphere of optimism and possibility that permeated Malaysia in those days. The country was riding high on economic growth, technological advancement, and now sporting achievement. The successful hosting of the Commonwealth Games seemed to validate Malaysia's aspirations to join the ranks of developed nations. KL98 Commonwealth Games.
Absolutely fabulous. The only thing that went wrong, I don't know, was a closing ceremony where the Queen declared the games closed.
Yeah.
But before that,
The fireworks went.
the fireworks went off. The cue was the word closed. So when the MC said, and now we'd like to invite the Queen to declare the games closed,
They took that as the cue.
that was a cue close. That's the only thing that went wrong.
I now have the honour to invite Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth to declare the Games closed.
"25 years have passed since those glorious days of September 1998. The athletes who competed have mostly retired, the officials who organized have moved on, and a new generation of Malaysians has grown up with the facilities and legacy of KL98 as simply part of their landscape. But the spirit of KL98, that combination of ambition, planning, and national unity, remains a powerful example of what Malaysia can achieve when it focuses its efforts. It stands as proof that with vision, commitment, and proper execution, a developing nation can not only host a world-class sporting event, but excel at it. As Malaysia continues its journey of development, facing new challenges and opportunities, the story of KL98 offers both inspiration and a practical blueprint. It reminds us that great achievements don't happen by accident. They require strategic planning, purposeful investment, and collective effort. The true legacy of KL98 isn't just in the buildings constructed or the medals won, but in showing what's possible when a nation dreams big and works tirelessly to make those dreams a reality. In that sense, the spirit of KL98, of success, victory, and national pride, remains as relevant today as it was a quarter century ago. For a moment in 1998, Malaysia stood in the eyes of the world and showed what it was made of. The challenge for today's Malaysia is to recapture that spirit and apply it to not just sports, but to all aspects of national development. If the story of KL98 teaches us anything, it's that with the right vision and commitment, Malaysia can indeed stand tall on the world stage. Thanks for watching this episode in our SUKOM 98 series. As we celebrate Merdeka and Malaysia Day, it's the perfect time to reflect on this proud chapter of our nation's history, when Malaysia truly stood in the eyes of the world. This series is our tribute to the Malaysian spirit that made the 1998 Commonwealth Games possible. The same spirit of unity and determination we celebrate during our national holidays. If you enjoyed this journey through Malaysian sporting history, please hit the like button and subscribe to Julang for more stories that showcase our nation's achievements. Share your own memories of SUKOM 98 in the comments below. We'd love to hear what this moment meant to you. Stay tuned for the next episode in our SUKOM 98 series, as we continue celebrating Malaysia's legacy in the lead up to Merdeka and Malaysia Day. Selamat Hari Merdeka and Hari Malaysia.